The break is over and fights are back. Not only do we have UFC Vegas 97 with a pretty solid main event, we also have UFC 306 next week, and we have a whole lot to look forward to coming up. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to give you my bets for UFC Vegas 97. Before we talk about this event, there was a week off, and some of you may have forgotten how freaking good we are at this. Here's a look at last event at UFC Vegas 96. Jakey Boy and I put up 34% return on your investment. Several units of profit. And overall, the bets have been absolutely slapping. Week in and week out, we've been doing very, very well. And we're going to continue to ride that success into each and every event. Obviously, UFC Vegas 97 is next on the board. It's a really tough card, but I do have some spots. I have some bets that I like, and I will share those with you. But before I do that, I'm going to brag about the safety parlay. Safety parlay is a parlay that I put on the board every single week. One parlay for each event. Sometimes I'll throw up two parlays, but we never skip an event. And it hits at a 72% event win rate. That's astronomical. Those are giant numbers when we're talking about betting on fist fights. You can unlock the safety parlay and everything else that we do. Go back that last slide. Look at all of Jacob's bets. Those are premium bets. And you can unlock premium with the safety parlay and the tools and everything else just by going to WeWantPicks.com. You click become a member. It's freaking $10 for an entire month. And that $10 will get you access to 4 events: UFC Vegas 97, UFC 306, UFC Paris, and UFC 307. 4 events, 2 pay-per-views, only $10 for that entire month. You're also going to get things like the Prop Hunter. This is a tool that will give you a curated set of data specifically designed to help you find prop bets. You're going to get tools like the line movement tracker. This is going to give you the opening odds, the current odds, the win probability, and the line movement for every fighter on every card. And here's a look at all of those events. $10 freaking at WeWantPicks.com. You're going to get picks, bets, tools, and everything for these 4 events. That includes 2 pay-per-views. This doesn't happen very often that you're going to get 2 pay-per-views in a 30-day window, but that is happening now. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Before I give you the bets, let's talk in generalities. Let's talk about some of my favorite favorites and some solid underdogs. I don't love this card. I'm going to be honest with you. I liked it a lot a week ago, and then the more time I kept looking at it, the more I look at the lines, the more I look at the fighters, the more I break down the fights. I'm like, man, I don't love any of these. I did find some spots, and we'll talk about those, but let's talk about some of my more confident favorites. We lost Alessandro Costa. I loved him. He was a huge, obviously, he was going to dominate and win. And 2 weeks ago, when we broke down that fight, he was very affordable. Then he got not affordable. And then that fight dropped. So that is what it is. Now we're stuck with Andre Petroski in a list of confident favorites. Yikes. That's the state of this event. A gentleman who knocked himself out shooting a takedown is a list of confident favorites on a fight card. And the reality is, sometimes you just have to look at the opponent. His opponent, Dylan Budka, is a grappler. Not as good of a grappler as Andre. His opponent, Dylan Budka, will move forward, throw some power. Not as powerful as Andre. So even though Andre's a bit unreliable and has some bizarre moments in the UFC, he's the better wrestler, the better grappler, the heavy-handed striker. Like, Andre Petroski is literally better than his opponent in every single aspect of MMA. So I got to be confident in that. Then we have Isaac Dulgarian. The value is gone. He's on the list because he is literally one of my most confident favorites on the card, but you should not be betting. I don't want to see betting slips with Isaac Dulgarian at the end of a parlay. I don't want to see it. It's insane to do. If you don't fully understand how to read odds, minus 3,000 means you would have to bet $3,000, risk $3,000 in a fist fight to win 100. $100 profit off $3,000 risk. It is not worth it. Do not do it. Then Natalia Silva. Listen, this is by far her biggest test. Her opponent, Jessica Andrade, is ranked in 2 different weight classes. Ranked in the top 10 in the world in 2 different weight classes. She's fought anybody that has any sort of name. She's beaten a whole bunch of the ranked fighters in the division. And she's still very dangerous, but I do think Natalia Silva is just too good. I think she's literally better than Jessica Andrade everywhere. She's not as powerful, but she's certainly a little slicker, a little faster, a little more technical. And I think Natalia Silva wins a point fight. I think she dances around the outside and gets it done. And then Sean Brady. Listen, there's a lot of love for Gilbert Burns. Even the other half of this show, Jacob, is all over Gilbert Burns. I'm about to show you some of our bets. Guy loves Gilbert Burns. I don't see it. He's 38 years old. He doesn't have a meaningful win in a little while. And yeah, it's easy to say, oh, but he stepped up. He fought Hamzat. He gave him hell. He fought Kamaru Usman. He gave him hell, but he lost those fights. He didn't win those fights. Giving somebody hell and losing, and then being 38 years old, coming off a knockout, like, I understand Gilbert Burns is good. He is tough. He's a very likable guy. He's had a very successful career. But the reality is, Sean Brady is young, a very good grappler, improving dramatically at a rapid rate, and he's going to win this fight. I like Sean Brady to win. If we talk about some solid underdogs, you could argue both sides of every single fight on this card except the Isaac Togaryan fight. Literally. But there are some specific people that I like here. Yiza is one of them. This dude is a very, very good wrestler. And he will just literally pick you up. He will shoot a single, pick you up. Shoot a double, pick you up. Dump you down, and then work from there. Chase submissions. And people love Gabriel Santos on the other side of that ticket. And I get it. He's good. He's dangerous. But it's a similar argument I just made with Gilbert Burns. People cite fights that he lost, but he was really tough and looked good. He lost those fights. Yiza doesn't have the greatest opponents. If you run through his record, it's a bit hollow. But I think I trust the rest. And they're both grapplers. I think Yiza's a very, very good grappler. I think he can get the fight to the ground, get the takedowns, frustrate Gabriel Santos, and get the win. Plus 220 seems like solid odds to me. Felipe Dos Santos. I bet on this fight, and I lost the value. I bet on this fight the second the line dropped, and then it took off in the wrong direction. Felipe Dos Santos is... People literally, when I put this bet in the Discord, a whole bunch of clown emojis. And I hope I'm right. And then I will hunt you down and I will ban you from the Discord. That's what you get for being a prick. Felipe Dos Santos is all forward pressure, all gas, no breaks. He comes forward. Yes, he gets hit just like every other shooter box fighter in that camp. But the reality is his opponent doesn't back up well, doesn't like pressure. Andre Lima is undefeated. And you know what? I might be so dead wrong. I'm going to look stupid as hell. And that happens sometimes. You break down 10 to 15 fights a week. You're going to be wrong every now and then. And I might be wrong about Andre Lima. But we watched him get pushed around. He was losing to Igor Severino before he got bit. He doesn't love pressure. He just squeaked by a win against Mitch Raposo. I think Felipe Dos Santos and the insane forward pressure are going to give him a little bit of trouble. Then we have Chris Padilla. Not only is Chris Padilla a big underdog, he's Jacob's underdog lock of the week. Jacob literally statistically picks underdogs at a better rate than anybody else throwing bets out on the internet. So him and I are aligned on this fight. Chris Padilla showed insane takedowns in that win over James Yantop. The dude is in phenomenal shape. He is dedicated to his craft. And people want to cite his losing skid a few years ago, some of the regional losses he had, but then he literally changed fight camps, switched it up, made changes in his life, and has looked phenomenal ever since. I think Chris Padilla can walk through Rongju, get the takedowns, and win that fight. And then Yanal Ashmouse. I have some buyer's remorse. I have a bet on him as well. I've got a little bit of buyer's remorse, but the reality is if I'm looking at the two fighters, we have Yanal Ashmouse here. We have Trevor Peek here. Trevor Peek sucks at fighting. He's not a technical fighter. He doesn't have actual skills. He's got grit, determination, will. He'll never quit. He's got a head like a cement ball. But the skills are not there. So ultimately, the better fighter is Yanal Ashmouse, and I think he can win this fight because he is literally better at this sport. Does that mean he will? No, because sometimes being tough is all you need. Let's take a look at the actual bets. Listen, it's darkish behind me. It's dark adjacent behind me. I'm filming this on Thursday night instead of Friday morning, and that's because it is hunting season here in Texas, and I'm waking up bright and early, and I'm going dove hunting in the morning. So I'm going to film this at night so I can release it in the morning, and you guys can still get your normal cadence of bet breakdowns in the AM. And the reason I'm telling you that is because this is what my bets look like this minute at night on Thursday before the weigh-ins. I likely am going to add some more bets as additional props drop and after the weigh-ins. We'll see who looks good, who looks horrific, how that goes, and there may be some additional stuff. So if you're not a premium member, well, this is what you're going to have to work with. If you are a premium member, go to the website, see what updates we have, because I'm also 1,000% sure Jacob will have more action as well. Let's talk about the bets. I just mentioned Yanal Ashmouse. Listen, I threw a half a unit on him. I saw him as a dog. Minus 106 was a dog when I saw that line. And I was like, you know what? Trevor Peek's just not good. He's just not good. You know, it was tough. He had a real bad shoulder injury in his last fight, just continued moving forward. His opponent, not very good. Insanely tough. Will never stop like a rabid dog, but he's not very good. So I literally just bet on the better fighter here, and I do think he can win. Felipe Dos Santos, I did that whole rant. I think his forward pressure is going to be too much. I think he can work a win in here, get it done with literally just that shooter box, move forward at all costs fight style. The value on my bet, not great. What you could get him at today, pretty solid. So if you agree, go ahead and throw a little bit on Felipe Dos Santos. If you don't agree, don't bet it. Don't bet on somebody you think loses because some gorgeous dude with a young LA hat told you to on the internet. That's crazy. Then we got Sean Brady and Natalia Silva. I did parlay the both of them. You'll notice they are not in the safety parlay. While I do think they both win, there's some caveats to both of them. So I threw them together. I got plus money. I put a unit on it. But Natalia Silva is fighting the best fighter she's ever fought. Her opponent is a former world champion, strong as shit, on a nice little win streak. Sean Brady is fighting the best opponent he has ever fought. Somebody who has fought for a world title before. Somebody who's been in there with some of the best people on the planet. He's in his first 5-round fight ever. So there are a lot of factors going on here. I do think they both win, which is why I bet on them. But what you'll notice when I do my bets is you're not going to see overexposure. You're never going to see Sean Brady in 4 different bets. Because why would I do that? These are fist fights and anything can happen. And I'm saying all of this as advice to you guys. Find your spots, find the people you trust, and bet on them. But don't take that person and throw them into 9 parlays and then be shocked when they get robbed in a weird decision, because this is MMA and we've seen it time and time again. Then I got Jaqueline Amorim win inside the distance decision, no action. Listen, I mentioned this on the live stream. This is better odds than her actual money line. Her actual money line is over minus 300. So this is a discount off her money line. And it's basically saying if she wins inside the distance, so submission or knockout, I'll get paid. If she loses a decision, I'll get a full refund. And she might lose a decision. And the way I came to this conclusion, Jacob was like, instead of doing that bet, you should have just bet Jaqueline Amorim to win inside the distance or win by submission. And you can get plus 200. The reason I didn't do that is because I think Jaqueline Amorim could win a decision here. She could certainly lose a decision as well. I think she can survive. Jacob's notion is she's either going to win by finish or get finished. I really don't see it that way. I think she could absolutely win by finish. But Vanessa Demopoulos is not dangerous. So that's the bet I have there. Then Chris Padilla plus 3.5 points. What that means, if you're new here, is you're basically betting the spread. Every judge has to score every round 10 points or fewer. 10 to the winner, 9 or less to the loser. Buying 3.5 points is I'm buying 3.5 points on those judges' scorecards. The way that math works out is Chris Padilla just needs to win one single round on all 3 judges' scorecards and the bet hits. So he could lose a 29-28 across the board. He can lose a split decision. Or he could win outright, win a decision, win by finish. All of those outcomes get me paid. That's still plus money, so he's plus 200 money line. But let's say he loses a close decision. Well, I'll go ahead and get paid at plus 120. And then, of course, we have the safety parlay. I talked about the safety parlay before. It hits at a 72% event win rate. A 72% event win rate, a parlay. It's insane. It's only $10 a month for everything we do. That includes the safety parlay. WeWantPicks.com. Click become a member. It's freaking $10 a month. Here's a quick look at Jacob's bets. There's a little teaser. The rest of his bets are on premium. He is on an unbelievable hot streak right now. And sometimes you just got to ride that hot hand. Jakey Boy has almost 9 units on the board. And if all goes well, if the stars align, he'll bring back over 17, almost 18 units to you, to the premium members of the world. Obviously, he has a moneyline bet on Chris Padilla. That is his underdog lock of the week. If you haven't watched that video on the YouTube channel, go watch it. It's wildly entertaining. He got him at plus 245, so he got some pretty solid odds on him considering Chris is plus 200 right now. And then he put up a bet on Isaac Dulgarian. It's a real bet. He threw $100 on it, shared the ticket, but he did it to be funny. Essentially wrote out this whole thing saying, guys, I'm putting my neck on the line. We're going to shoot our shot, and we're going to chase this win. And obviously, Isaac Dulgarian is a tremendous favorite. But if you do want to unlock all of his bets, go to WeWantPicks.com, click Become a Member. It's freaking $10. You're going to sign up for 306 anyway. You're going to sign up for 307 anyway. You might as well sign up today. Get UFC 306, UFC 307, UFC Paris, and obviously this card, UFC Vegas 97. WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. And here's a quick reminder that Bet Openly has the best odds you're going to get out there, and that's because they are not a sports book. It's peer-to-peer betting, human-to-human betting. You saw they had Isaac Delgarian at minus 1499 instead of minus 3,000. Obviously, you're going to need somebody else to take the other side of that bet because it's not you versus them. It's you versus some other human being somewhere else. And if you want to try to take my money or try to take Jacob's money, you can bet against the safety parlay. You can bet against the lock of the week. You can check out Bet Openly at betopenly.com or WeWantPicks.com/betopenly. And if you want $50, the only thing you need to do is go to WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of those affiliate partners, make a deposit, and we will send you $50 as a thank you. It's affiliate marketing. You're going to use the link. You're going to sign up. You're going to make a deposit. They're going to pay me, and I'm going to slice off $50, and I'm going to give it right back to you. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up, make a deposit. We'll send you $50 as a thank you. Guys, good luck this week. It's always weird. The week after a week off, the comeback event is always a weird event. But UFC 306 is right around the corner. I'm looking forward to that card. Let's hope we can get through this one. We'll see you on Saturday.